So, hi everyone, happy new moon in Pisces. I'm going to try and make this relatively quick because that'd be quite annoying to hold the phone like that the whole time. But I just got in from being out and about, and again, a lot of you know me very well, but if you're new, basically, I'm never mind what is it like 89% introvert. I'm something like 79% introvert or something. Believe it or not, I know that can be pretty wow when you see me doing my thing, but yeah, long and short of it is, I really don't like being in big crowds and being uptown and everything. And I was killing a few birds with one stone today, and that's me back in the house. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Blah 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 blah. Right. Basically, I'm channeling the 100% energy of Pisces, and I'm just laughing too because, um, like I, I was just so scatty. Like I've just been so scatterbrained. I'm even laughing. Like right from the minute when I got up, I always keep my glasses right beside me, right? And so I got up and I'm blind as a bat, right? And I was like, where the fuck? And I'd already slept in and I was like, where the fuck? Or my, because I had basically one of my things is I had to go to Specsavers. It's so funny. So maybe somebody does need to check something with their glasses, or you need to open your eyes. You need to open your third eye to see what you really need to see, actually, because Pisces is confusion and illusion. So yeah, but I just thought it was really pretty funny because it is pretty spaced out dreamer energy. And I'm like, fucking hell, I'd already slept in, and then I couldn't find my glasses, and I couldn't find my glasses because I need my glasses to find the glass. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I'd ran out of contacts. There's 144. It was all not very good. Do you know what I mean? I was blind overall. So again, this is absolutely hilarious, but there's going to be something about, there's going to be some, and they're pulling me, oh my God, they're pulling me to the Pisces sign on the astrology blanket there. So there is something about this. There's something that you, someone watching this, there's something you're not seeing. Because I literally couldn't fucking see. And then I just, you know, calmed myself down a bit and I found them. They'd just fallen in the drawer beside my bed. It was fine. But anyway, yeah, Pisces energy is like, right. So first, the light side of it, it is like magical, it's mystical, it's very psychic energy, it's very floaty, dreamer, it's very, and I like to call it inner child magic, very rainbowish, it's very, it is just magical. But, and what else is it? It's unconditional love, which is everything. Whenever I'm doing any kind of healing on here, or anything that I do, it's with that unconditional love. Um, and it's absolutely your connection to God, the divine spirit, angels, and power animals, whatever you call yours, your loved ones in spirit. But with that, if you're not grounded, you could be quite scatterbrained. Like you say, um, when I've got to go out about and be among crowds and that, I most of the time I usually am very grounded. But I have to say today, just no, my head was up my arse. So thank God, my mum had chummed me last minute, so that was quite nice. So we had a nice wee lunch and everything too. So anyway, yeah, I just could not fucking wait to get home for that actually, which is why I'm laughing. Time for a nap because I just got in and I thought, right, I just needed to pull myself a few cards, and so that I don't mind saying that these are mine, but I feel somebody else really needs it too. Because basically, right, Pisces. So here's for the shit bit of it, because I feel many of us are going through just feelings of needing to surrender to something. And I say this every Pisces moon, but this is a Pisces new moon. The new moon is when you can't see, the dark moon, which is what we were in just before this, like the last couple of days. The dark moon is when, you're in the darkness, basically. You're in the void and you've got to, you've got to go inwards and just sort of trust everything's unfolding. But the new moon is really quite the same. So although people are like, oh, new moon, new me, and or not maybe new moon, new beginnings, all that. It's true to a certain extent, but Pisces is the end. Pisces is endings. Um, but after an ending, obviously, comes a new beginning. But to me, Pisces is like, I always say this, I've said this for the past 8 years, but it's like, or longer. But Pisces is like, you're kind of, things often happen in your life which leave you feeling either quite helpless or hopeless, or sometimes both. Or, well, it's the house of your deepest fears. It's the 12th house, which we all know around here. If you're not new, that is my favourite. Um, And it's, that's usually I am, there's always at least a few people in my week that I'm helping that feel completely hopeless or helpless or both. And yeah, I'm able to help them out of that place, you know what I mean? And then obviously these things need to happen to me as well, so that I can ask for help from the divine or the people I trust around me as well, and all that kind of stuff. Which has got less and less over the fucking years when people reveal themselves. That's what I was saying in my head, and I just fucking said it out loud. But thank God, I'm very fucking grateful. I still have got a lot of people I can trust out there. But you know what I'm saying? That's going to mean something to some of you as well. I know you hear me out there. But yeah, I'm just laughing because Pisces is exhaustion. It is the house of exhaustion. It's the house of undoing. If you don't look after yourself, it's burnout as well. So again, and it's just quite funny because, like you say, I didn't get much sleep last night. Then I had to get up early, and even when I've got one thing to do, that's enough for me. When I've got a couple of different things to do, and just being around big crowds, this is literally the worst time ever that I could have been in big crowds. But thank God I managed to get through it all without a panic. There was a few times where I did actually feel like I was going to have a panic attack, which I haven't had for fucking ages. But anyway, that'll just be the energies that we're in. But anyway, long story short, yeah, I did kind of feel like I was going to pull time for a nap because I do think I don't know whether I'm going to nap, but I think I might have a wee lie down and just sort of chill. But that's basically the guidance from all these cards put together. But it was just funny because when I read them, I was like, right, it made me feel good or better. And I feel somebody out there, probably quite a few of you, and now that it's interesting because I'm putting with the hand that isn't holding the phone, I've got my hand on my heart, and my hand has went boiling. So when I always say when there's healing going to my back or anywhere in my body, it's going to whoever out there needs it. But I would say in this case, it's, I'm taking that healing for me and I'm sending it out to you as well when I'm holding this. But Pisces is, yeah, it's often when it's like, you're kind of like, I don't know what to do about this, and it's annoying me that I don't know what to do about it. Or even worse, it could be like, you feel really helpless and you're kind of tearing your hair out. And like the worst case scenario, I've definitely had Pisces new moons, full moons, or just Pisces moons where I've actually, it's kind of like fall to your knees praying for a sign or a miracle or help or an answer. And I've also had Pisces moons, or just any time when I've actually been falling to my knees in gratitude, like, crying with happiness when things are happening. So again, you just expect a miracle, expect a miracle. Even if you're not kind of, in with shitty stuff happening, just expect a miracle anyway because you deserve it. So I feel the mixed bag of where everyone's at. Like, say, for me personally, I just know that whatever it is stressing me out, I actually, I'd said to myself, I'm not a fan of Pisces moon period anyway. So, for me, it's like I just really need to, I think it just needs to be about me Monday, Tuesday, and we're already halfway through Monday. So for me, like I'd very much suspected, unless I get some energy from somewhere, because it's just interesting, right? Well, I think I might actually, I don't know, I might post that. But what was, in case I don't, because I am going to read the cards. I got led to something in the cafe that I was in, and it had something about giving to others, and it was really quite nice. And you see, that is what helps me. What was that again? Here it is. No. Oh no, I looked at that too in the train station. I rarely, if ever, found anyone of whom I could not extract amusement or edification. That's Sir Walter Scott. That's true about myself, probably true about some of you. And in case I don't post it, Brianna, I saw your white horses again, but I probably will post it in the community tab. But I'll slow it down a bit there. So yeah, Brianna had asked for a sign of white horses, and then if you didn't catch that live, I actually kept pulling cards with white horses, and then I also caught, I think I could show this because it's not got the rest of it on it. I saw somebody's reg plate when I was walking home, 777, that's very godlike, so I was like, thank you for that. And then this is what I saw. Happiness comes not from what you have, but how much you give. think I probably will screenshot that and post all this, but yeah, I might use that as a thumbnail. But yeah, basically there's something in this. If you're feeling a bit kind of like something's out of your hands, which I bet you will, it'll just be big things for some people, small things for others, and whatever, or just things that are annoying you a little bit. I don't know, it'll be a big mixture of stuff. It helps when you give to others, to take your mind off something. So it just will take whatever that resonates. But yeah, the whole take a nap, I know I'm going to end it by saying that. It's basically, oh yeah, so if I didn't sort of finish saying that, I do feel this might be, I mean, I wouldn't call this Mediumship Monday, but this might just be the video for today. If I kind of really kind of just can't be bothered talking, because I kind of feel I'm going to go that way. Because when I've had to people a little bit, when I really don't, usually in a Pisces moon, I really just don't, because it was funny, like my friend, like I hadn't caught up with her in a few weeks, and this is when she was saying, I was like, do you know what, I'm so not going to probably be up for that. I'm just really, and I'm not, like, I need some alone time, 11:11, and so I feel that's where a lot of us are at. But like I say, I really do think I probably will just need to go for a nap. But, and it is just funny that Pisces is sleep. But right, I think that's all they wanted me to channel before I read from the book. But this card, you see, this card upright's one of the best ones. It's like the sun card, it's like everything's going your way. It's happiness. It's like, you've got your milk and honey. Everything's going your way. So upright, so sorry, the other way, I was like, oh shit. But it's not really bad per se. It just, well, it made sense for me. So see who else it's for. Right, so the key words is the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurture and abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. You see, that does make sense to me, those key words, but the protection message makes even more sense. Let's read it. A nameless unease compels you to turn to pleasure and comfort as a means to escape what's really going on. I'm not even shitting you. That is the shadow side of Pisces, escapism. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people escape into drink, when people escape into drugs, when people escape into overspending, when people escape into eating, when people escape into addictions of any kind. This has been coming up constantly, hasn't it? So just make sure you don't bury your head in the sand about something. It works in the moment, but only fleetingly, before the feelings return and you need to re-up until you're exhausted. And again, I did say it's a house of exhaustion. Feeling worse than before. You may continue struggling, or you may see the light and choose to surrender to spirit. And again, that's why I just channeled that Pisces, anything, it is about surrendering. Like, that's why, like what I said, and I think it was only in yesterday's video or the day before, that it is often when your back's up against the wall and you feel like you're really lost, that a lot of people turn to God, or whatever they see that higher power as. So that's why I try to live my life where it's like, pray every day before it gets bad. Pray and fucking be thankful for what you have got. And that is why it's why a lot of shitty stuff can happen to all of us. So it's like, even when I've channeled about, the difficult, challenging karmic situations that, people are in all different bits and bobs of, and if you've already went through that, again, you'll know if you're in the peaceful part, you're fucking grateful you're away from all that drama. Or if you're still got a bit around you a bit, you're glad you're away from the majority of it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, everyone's at a different sort of bit, but and that's funny. Look, the next one's mending, forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. That feels significant, like to twin flames or something. Yeah, it does. That feels like that's to do with that. Could be anywhere in your life, but it does feel like that. Arguments might be a bit much, but whatever the situ after not talking to someone. Because forgiveness is also Pisces, of course it is. Right, now's the time for practicing extreme self-care. If you can, do so before you engage in behaviours you'll regret later. Now remember, that is what Pisces is. It's escapism. That's why I always say on every Pisces moon, especially when it lands over a weekend. Again, it's like I've just not come out that mentality of people partying at the weekend. I don't even party at the weekend, but you know what I'm saying? It's like when people get a bit overexcited, and it's Pisces. And again, this is going to be really speaking to people if you actually are a Pisces moon, of course, or some other kind of energy that might resonate with that. But it's escapism can be good if it's like you escape into going a run and whatever, or but it can also be quite dangerous depending on what you're escaping into. You are so loved, so cared for. Feel love and compassion for yourself. Turn your troubles over to the divine for healing. That's all that counts right now. Again, and that really made me feel better, right? So even if it's just for that, I wanted to, like that things give to others, and then it helps you feel better, whatever the fuck that said. Anyway, right, 37. It's just that what I'm trying to say is, like, I just could feel this kind of energy coming for quite a lot of us. I could just feel it coming. So where there's things in my life that I could panic about, I'm just choosing not to, and I just know I'm just going to surrender and be. And just trust me, come Wednesday onwards, I know personally for me, that has a whole lot of fire energy. When I've got a whole lot more energy, I actually enjoy everything that I'm doing a lot more, and I'm in a better place. So, do you know what I mean? And then I'm in a better place to give from others, whereas right now I'm not, because I need to give to me. So, but see how that can change just literally overnight. But I would more go with me personally, because I know myself and I know my own soul's blueprint and my own astrology. Yeah, I'm probably just going to do quite low energy stuff tomorrow. I mean, like, I still might do a video if I feel up to it, or if it's like kind of, I've not got low energy myself, but I know that doing that is going to help people kind of thing. But again, that's why I just weigh it up in the moment. So whatever that means anyway. Right, so let's read this, because I fucking do need time for a nap indeed. Right, so the keywords for this are self-criticism, again, negative self-talk, linked to the 12th house, linked to what I posted yesterday. The wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. Right, that's the keywords. We got in reverse, so I don't need to read all the bits because there's lots of these cards, so I'm kind of glad about that. This is a time to avoid drama at all costs, especially when it comes to other people's stuff. So this is why I felt it really important. And it's funny because I didn't know quite what bit was going to speak, but I don't need to know. I could feel it. And that is Pisces energy too. I could just feel it with my clairsentience. It's like, I feel something, because it's about lack of boundaries. So I feel you could really get pulled into other people's drama. So just make sure that you are protecting your boundaries. Because again, it's Pisces sun, Pisces moon right now. And the moon, like I started saying that, I didn't say it. The moon is when, the new moon is when you can't see anything in the sky to do the moon. So it creates this, because I can even hear it in my voice, it creates this anxiety, this kind of, well, I can't see what's happening. Like, I can't even see the fucking moon. And that's what the new moon is every month, like every roughly 4 weeks. So a new moon in Pisces, about the sign of when you can't fucking see what's coming anyway, like the unknown. That's really scary. That's really scary for everyone in some way, shape or form, I would say. And again, if you're like, no, that's not me, everything's going great. Be humble, be grateful. It can all change. Do you know what I mean? Right, so your sensitivity is on overload these days. Hello, that's where I am. So funny that I'm channeling this right now. And you're best served by keeping your distance. That's really funny, because I was noticing all the fucking keep your distance shit on the ground when I was walking through this it's like a wee hallway bit to get to another bit. And I was like to my mum, I was like, is all this shit starting up again? She was like, no, that's just always been there from before. And I was like, it just shows you like how often I'm actually uptown, because I didn't know that anyway. It does feel like some of that shit's coming back, because there was loads of folk wearing masks. I was like, what the fuck are they wearing all that shit for? Anyway, sorry. Right, probably got something to do with masks, actual masks you wear over your face too, like covering up who you really are, if you think about it. I'm talking about the mask covering your mouth, but I bet you that's got something to do with dropping the masks or hiding stuff. Your mantra today is not my circus, not my monkeys. All this drama will pass and you will carry on unscathed and blameless. So yeah, again, you could really be pulled into people's dramas, because it is like, oh, I'm helpless, I'm a victim. You know what I mean? People could really freak out. You could freak out. Like I say, there's things in my life that I could have had a wee freak out about, but they're like, no, Stay happy, happy. Joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. See, I've just always got Louise's voice in my head. All is well. All is well. Right. Oh, look at what. Right. Look. Soulmates. My hand just went to that. And that's the. I changed the thumbnail when I couldn't sleep last night to soulmates on that video. Harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. The penguins. Right, and oh God, and of course I didn't say that. If this is not making any sense to you, it could be your twin that's going through all this. Courage, take the leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. Again, that's you, that's them. Come to the edge. I'm scared, come to the edge, he said. I'm scared, come to the edge. He pushed them and they flew. I always say that when I'm helping people with their spiritual gifts, like mediumship and that. It's like, I can't do it, I can't meditate, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Right, so. Or in actually any session that I do, come to think of it. Right, time for a nap, and then, not coincidentally, I am going to go for a nap, and I might not be back with another video for Mediumship Monday, so consider this Mediumship Monday. So maybe if you're watching this, I might have even titled this Mediumship Monday. Bit of a cop-out, but hey, it's better than nothing, do you know what I'm saying? Time for a nap, rest, rejuvenation and renewal. Temporary non-action, again, so Pisces, and it's why I felt called to share this too. Allowing dreams to arise. See if that works. That card is very Pisces. All of those words that I just read out. This is literally all three of these cards, but I meant all of the key words on the time for a nap. Rest, rejuvenation, renewal, temporary non-action, allowing dreams to arise. It's like being in a total feminine state. Yeah, you might not know what's going on. Just go with the flow. Just be. Just rest. Sleep on it. If you're like, but things aren't going to be all right in the morning, just sleep on it anyway, you know. Things can look very different the next day, especially when we're in this time of the new earth. Like, you may be falling really into that old earth fear energy. Or it might just be like myself, you know, this new moon is in a really intense, or just, for me, it's in an intense part of my chart, but the other energies, it's also just extremely overload sensitive, like what that said. So, you know, take what resonates for you. But I just think a Pisces new moon is going to be sensitive for everyone, no matter where it is. And remember, sensitive is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's how I do everything that I do, and how anyone else out there uses their intuition in whatever way as well. So it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But you got to protect it. This is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, and your desires. So again, if you feel like you've got to do all this stuff and you've got to fix everything, you've got it. It's like scrambling. That's what I'm feeling like. This kind of, fuck, I've got to fix this, I've got to fix that, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Like, time's running out. That's what, and it's no fun either, but that's what I'm feeling. Is an important as rest and detachment and neutrality. What was the first bit to that? Yeah, nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat and rest. Be willing to let your dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement now. And the relationship message is, when it comes to matters of the heart, don't make any plans right now. If you're not partnered, it's good to take this time out to get to know yourself. And again, Pisces is about spending a lot of time alone. If you're in silence, meditating, healing. If you're involved with someone, relax and just be with your partner. Now that could even, I would even stretch that to go like do a meditation to connect with your twin flames higher self. And as I'm saying that, it is just reminding me that I have been meaning to, when I got more energy, yeah, I'm going to be doing a hypnosis for that, like, that I'm going to put on my website when I publish that. So, but even, I don't necessarily need to put it on the website. I'll just tell you when I've done it, but it just reminded me, just thinking out loud. That song might be relevant, and I don't even like that song. I always just think it when I say thinking out loud. This is going to be an uneventful moment in time. Don't force anything now. That's a weird word, isn't it? This is going to be an uneventful moment in time. Don't force anything now. Allow things to flow naturally, and beautiful renewal will take place all by itself. Patience is the key to your heart's desire right now. So it really is, the message is just be. And particularly because the 12th house is connected to mental health. And like I always say, who fucking hasn't got mental health, right? We all get stressed out. If you get stressed out, you've got mental health. But some of us have got a lot fucking more than that. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's why meditating and just learning to breathe properly and be is so important for everyone, especially in the last few years with all the shit that went on. But people had things like anxiety and all that long before all that pish just made it worse. That's why I'm going on about big crowds. Like, I didn't like big crowds anyway, but since everything that's went on in the last few years, because we went in so much, it's like I got really used to it. So, right. But you know what? Right. Here's another Pisces thing. I couldn't find my hat either. So think about all the fucking things that went wrong, actually. Couldn't find my glasses. I didn't have any contact lenses, so I couldn't put them in. Then I found my glasses. Then I couldn't find my fucking hat, and it annoyed me because my coat's black and the hat's navy anyway, you know what I mean? Being perfectionist, but I've got a black hat to go with a black coat and a navy one to go, you know what I mean? So I just fucking put the navy hat on with the black coat, you know, some things can't be perfect. That's a message too. Then, when I was sorting my hood, this guy was like, "Excuse me, is that yours?" And he handed me my black hat, and I was like, "Oh, well, I was looking for that everywhere. Where was it?" I mean, oh, it must have been in the hood. So I've been fucking cutting about with the black fucking woolly hat in my hood with the navy one on. And I said, "Thank you so much." I said to my mum, "That man's an angel." I would have been fucking gutted if I was searching for that black hat and couldn't find it anywhere because it was away up the town. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so I feel it's symbolic. I felt it instantly. It's something symbolic of not being able to find something, but actually it's there all along because it was literally on me and I didn't know. You know what I mean? And it was still annoying me that I had the navy one, even though I can't see. Nobody else is going to give a fuck. So do you know what I mean? And then actually I've ended up with two hats. So fuck knows what that means to someone. But if you know what that means to you, let us know in a postcard. That's too funny. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that was very kind. Because that guy could just like what most people do, don't they? If I've seen someone drop their gloves or whatever, I would do that too. But it was like I was really, really grateful because I'm quite fussy. It's funny because in some ways in some things I'm really laid back and other things I'm quite particular. And I searched everywhere for a black hat like that, during a black bobble hat. Like I specifically wanted the black bobble hat with a kind of beigey bobble. And I really like it. And so it would have been, it's not a big deal, but you know what I mean? I had actually searched for ages and I was willing to pay top dollar, which I ended up not having to pay that much. But you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even about the money. I just really like it. So I was glad that man stopped to be like, "Oh, is that yours?" So it's something about slowing down and pay, you know, if I'd actually fucking shook the hood, I would have seen it was in the fucking hood. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just because I'd slept in. There you go, right? That's too funny. And the fucking cards about sleeping, I can't. This is funny. Don't force anything now. Allow things to flow naturally and beautiful renewal will take place all by itself. Patience is the key to your heart's desire right now. Withdraw from action in your relationship and give it a rest so that your love and connection can become rejuvenated. But also I would say that's another message to divine feminines that are feeling antsy or feeling like you need to do something. Just be. You don't need to do anything, and especially not when we're specifically talking about twin flames. Everything's happening exactly as it should. You're right where you need to be. Freedom is the recognition that where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. That's the quote that I keep beside my bed. And believe me, I know that can be incredibly challenging to believe that that's the truth in some moments we have in life. But you really are where you're meant to be, learning what you're needing to learn. And if you're in tough times, again, it teaches you to be humble and grateful and know to be kind. You know, you don't need to be everybody's best friend. I've certainly learned that in my life, but, you know, you don't need to make life harder for people either, which is why I always say, well, just basically what they just made me say there, you know, just to keep that in mind. You cannot, and you'll make yourself ill, you cannot be there for every single person all the time, but I think this is more so for, I would like to say people don't even watch my channel, but it's for if you're going out your way to be overly nasty to someone, or probably people that do kind of send black magic and spell it and all these kind of things that want to see it. There's probably some fucking words none of us are even aware of because it's the horrifying shit that weird fucking folk out there do. All of that, it's like, I just, although that is what I help undo from people's energy fields, I just can never really quite get my head around why anyone would do that to anyone, because it's like, do these fucking idiots, sorry, that's what came out of my mouth, do they not even realise that when you attack people like that, and especially people like that are highly protected, yeah, like me, and like a lot of yous out there, it's never negative energy that the person themselves send back, because again, I never send anything but love back to anybody that's hating on me or jealous or anything like that, or for whatever reason. But God is always watching. And again, this is so funny. I can like, again, it's like, and yeah, I can feel it's like God is always watching. That's what integrity is about. So if you are sending really shitty energy to anyone, whether it be me or anyone out there, like, it's going to, life's going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. And I feel a lot of those people will actually be there right about now. So just do right by everyone. Do you know what I mean? Again, that doesn't mean be everyone's best friend. Have your boundaries, and if you're not resonating with certain people and all that, you know, that's okay as well. But it's kind of like, you know, just basically don't go out your way to be sending people shitty energy, because that can massively backfire. I mean, I've said before, I'm really not a fan of when I've caught other YouTubers being like, I send whatever negative energies come my way, I send, like, they say things like, I don't even really want to say it because I don't believe in it, but you know, they say things like that, basically they send it back, but they say quite strong things like sending it back 10 times, and I think, Jesus Christ, man. But I can, you know, I get the mentality behind it, but it totally just does not resonate with me whatsoever, because I know that if I was to be like, right, people are sending me that shit energy, I'm sending that back, I've got a lot of power, and it's kind of like, I don't want to use that power for that kind of stuff, and I also don't want to fucking waste that on that. So that's why it's a lot easier to just be like, do you know what, I feel sorry for people that want to send crappy energy anybody's way, like take time, like I send them nothing but love so they can sort their shit out, basically. Right, so again, don't know where all that came from, but it must be for someone. This is a great time to take a break from your busy schedule and allow yourself the opportunity to step back. Your plans are meant to be put on ice. Your goals can wait. Dream, imagine, and let go of attachments to any outcome now. Meditate and take a holiday if you can. Again, holiday might be a bit strong. If you're in the place to go on holiday, absolutely fucking do that shit. And we're not jealous at all. Lie. Big, massive lie. And what is Pisces also on the shadow side? Lying. Have a great holiday. Wish it was me. Anyway, but it's and I'm not even talking about a sun holiday, by the way, because I've not been on a plane in about a million years, and I've, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just if you've got an opportunity to even just stay overnight somewhere or go away for a wee weekend or a spa day, I don't know, just basically, or have a day off or have an hour to yourself, whatever the situation is. If you can take some time out, do it. Mondays are my day off anyway, apart from when I do Mediumship Monday. And like I say, I think now that this video has been on 33 minutes, I would say this is Mediumship Monday. If I make a surprise second debut, then I don't know if that's even the right word, but you know what I mean. Then so be it, but I don't think so. And Tuesdays are usually quite a busy day, but I've decided because it's the end of Pisces moon, fuck that. So I'm giving that's, there you go. There's my extended weekend, Monday, Tuesday. Thanks very much. I'll get back to work on Wednesday. Right. Things will speed up soon enough. But that was so meant to be when I said that, because that's when things speed up. Aries moon, and that is Wednesday. And I don't know what time it was actually, but I'll be able to say later the next video I do. But it's Venus in Aries. It is already Venus in Aries, and I've got Venus in Aries. So things can be heating up, or you know, you can use your passion for many things out there. But again, if you feel like you haven't really got that passion or that drive or that energy, it's because we're in all this Pisces energy just now, the sun and the moon. After a break, you may want to make some changes, and Aries moon is also a sign of change. Epiphanies have an amazing way of arising when you take your focus off your to-do list and allow yourself to rest. Absolutely on point. And the next card was actually round as well. So I feel many, and I just lost it in the book. I feel that's where many people are at. We just getting tired of like going round and round and round in fucking circles and needing to come to some kind of conclusion either way. That's what. And then look at yeah. Because that's really what I'm about helping people with, is wherever you're self-sabotaging or repeating the same unhelpful toxic cycles, it doesn't need to be toxic, but a lot of the time it is, it needs to end. And Pisces is also ending. So, right, I feel like picking another one, because I'm just going to call this the Mediumship Monday. I'm going to be kind to myself. Like, say, if the spirit moves me and I actually feel, there's every chance I might feel up to it, but I'm just going to give myself, what do we need to know? Where's the collective of divine feminines at? Like, what the fuck does that mean? What's that one about? A leg up? I just stopped at see, if you're not happy, I just stopped at happy again. So I do feel if you're not happy right now, just breathe in the here and now, and I think that's going to change. And you might not know why. Look, you might be in chaos and conflict, but I feel it's like the dark. But what's it? The darkness before the dawn. That's what I'm getting. Because Pisces is secrets too, so I feel there's like something coming your way you're not aware of. Receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life is a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during the next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. That's Pisces moving. Now is such a time. So that's why you have to be. Okay, that's helped me too. Relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognise that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. That is so Pisces as well. Don't expect others to read your mind though. Ask and it's given. And again, that very much reminds me of when I've channeled before and spoke about the importance of knowing your love language and knowing others' love languages around you in every area of your life, not just in the romance department. That can be with friends, family, anyone. It's about, like what that just says, don't assume that your love language is the same as whoever else in your life, but also don't assume like that. I've said that all the time because I'm so psychic. I do find myself having to say that to people, that don't assume I can read your mind. I mean, I know a lot, like I say, a lot of it really can seem like I can do that, right? But it's like, I've got feelings as well. So it's kind of like, I don't even really know how to put it in words, and that would be a Pisces thing as well. It is just, I do come across it every now and again where it's like, yeah, people just kind of, rather than somebody just sort of telling you they're pissed off, they just ghost you. Well, yeah, it is. That actually, you know what? Pisces energy probably would be ghosting. Like, it's kind of like, say what it is you're annoyed about rather than doing that. But again, it's like, I do get it as well, because there definitely has been situations in my life where somebody's upset me, and then I just, will leave it and kind of, but again, I'd say, I suppose it's a bit different if it's like, I suppose where it's a bit of an exception to the rule is, when it's like overwhelm or something, if you're a bit overwhelmed with things and you can't actually even be arsed explaining what's upset you, because you actually kind of feel like the person's not going to give a shit anyway. But, just kind of, and it wouldn't be that bad, because I don't even know why that came out of my mouth. I wasn't really speaking about anything in particular, but it's kind of that would be the deepest fears. Like, there's no point in telling this person what's upset me, because they're not even going to they're not going to listen. You know what I mean? Something like that. I feel like I'm channeling somebody's fears here. Yeah, because they're drawing me the word irrational as I'm saying this. It's like the subconscious fears. And again, Pisces 12th house is the subconscious fears. But then look, and then they've just pulled me, you will be met with kindness and love. So yeah, I don't know what that means to something. So I'm actually really so needing my nap now. Now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or business advisor who's been there where you want to go. This is what I help people with if you're drawn to me, to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid you in prosperity. And again, that is something that I help people with all the time, is people will be tearing their head out panicking. They come to me and it's well worth the investment, because it can set you in the, well, it either sets people free from where they're absolutely trapped in a dark situation, or it sets them in a direction where their dreams come true right away or on the way to it. Do you know what I mean? And then even more so when it's the romance stuff where I've freed people from toxic situations and then they meet their twin flame. There's been all kinds of these stories. Be open for a miracle. It may also be the case that your endeavours have grown and you're in a position where you just can't do it all by yourself anymore. And again, actually, that kind of really resonates with me, because it's like, yeah, I just know that that's where I'm going this year, is that there's things I want to outsource, but I'm not quite there yet. But I did, yeah, anyway. Right, what else was I going to read there? You know, basically, so that's important for somebody else out there. What is it that you can pay somebody else to do that is stressing you out so that you can focus on what you're good at? That kind of thing. Because, you know, rather than, a lot of people would be like, it's either like, oh, I can't afford to do that, or I can do it myself, or that person isn't going to be able to do it the way that I do it. Whatever all that is, you know, we'll pick the things that somebody could do that you don't need to do and do it, you know, like part with your money to do that. I think somebody needs to hear that. It may also be the case that endeavours have grown and you're in a position where you just can't do it. But I just read that twice, so you can't do it all by yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps towards your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time, so long as you step forward with a mustard seed of faith. But I feel that's about twin flame anything, twin flame unions as well. If you think about it, like, the perfect people will arrive at the perfect time. And who's more perfect than the imperfect person for you, your twin flame, and you for them? But you've got to have that mustard seed of faith. You know, that's where it all starts. Right, okay. Talking of twin flame, let's see where divine masculines are at. It's not for everyone and just any gender. This one's speaking to me. Oh, fuck. Observer. I'm just laughing because in that last one, I'm like, it's like when I picked up whatever, it was like, I'm keeping a close eye on you from afar. Right, well, let's see what they're observing. Oh, that's hilarious. But that is, you divine masculines, men and women and whatever you identify as, you awaken by, what is that under my nail? Why does it always look dirty? It's like, yeah, actually it isn't. I don't know why. Maybe it's, I don't know. I think that's foundation under my nail. Yeah, it's how you awaken, you know, and it's how the divine masculines awaken to the journey. It's how a lot of you have awakened through watching. Well, look, there's another twin flame card. Loyal heart, fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. That's how it'll be when you're with the real one. Right, so, new life. Yeah. I do think there's lots of stuff going on here. Birth of new ideas, growth opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. Oh, 39. You might be 39 or about to be 39. That's me. Right. Observer. What number is this? 49. Of course, there might somebody be out there. No place like home. I always say your twin flame feels like home. Somebody's starting to get that out there. There's no place like home. That's Dorothy, isn't it? Right, so. Perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. I just can't even comment. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences so much that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance, and I can see in a crazy way that fits with what I was saying about love languages, that it's important to realise that not everybody sees life through the same lens as you. And I know that might sound really fucking obvious, but I think some people forget that. I've definitely been on the receiving end of people being like, of just many people just being like, yeah, I've been on the receiving end of it, and I'm sure I've, contributed to people feeling like that as well. But it's, yeah. God, I'm being a right moody bastard. Sorry, I think they're using that to channel that energy. To gain perspective and understand your circumstance. See what I mean? Nobody's perfect. I never fucking said I was. Form a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Yeah, there is something really strongly here about not making assumptions and asking for what you need. Yep. Not making assumptions, asking for what you need and communicating actually, yeah. Rather than just assuming that somebody's going to know what's wrong with you and they're going to come chasing after you to ask what's wrong with you. Yeah, there's something around that. There really is. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. And I'm not feeling that. It might be things to do with twin flames, but the things are showing me in my own life, it's not to do with like twin flames. I'm a twin flame, but it's not to do with it's like to do with others in your life. Which, yeah. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees in your way. That's very Pisces too, confusion. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another, misunderstand each other. It feels a bit like Mercury retrograde shit. This video is actually quite long. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. So again, it's like that, what I said in that last video, don't bleed over. And now that does feel twin flamey, but again, it can literally go for anyone, can't it? It can go where anybody's hurt you in your life, so you assume that this new person's going to hurt you, whether that's love or friendship or whatever. So learn to recognise where your past trauma is actually creating difficulties in your present and your future, because you're assuming that others are the same when they're not. Take time out before you react, especially if it's around Wednesday's Aries moon, but definitely because Venus is in Aries as well. Venus is love, money, what you find beautiful, what you value. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. There you go. So there is something about apologies here. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and in others in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. And that actually was the relationship message. So that will make sense to whoever it needs to. Prosperity message. It's an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turned out exactly as you planned. That's very, very divine masculine energy. Divine masculine energies, regardless of gender, want things to go, like, meaning, like, wanting all your ducks in a row, wanting everything to go perfect, and that is just not the way life works. I know that's not a newsflash, but someone needs to hear it. It's like me with a fucking navy hat, right? I want to wear my black hat, my black jacket. I want to wear the navy hat, the black jacket. It's no big fucking deal, as if anybody else gives a fuck, right? Especially because I left early in the morning. But it doesn't, nobody cares, right, is the point. It's just me being pernickety. And then I find the black hat anyway. It's definitely a metaphor for something. It's like just give up something not being perfect and then you find what you needed anyway. Then you end up with two. And I was like, where the fuck did I put this? So I just put down my top and it just made me look like I had bigger boobs. And I don't need that, let me tell you. They're quite some size anyway. Right, where did I get to with this? You may be too personally attached to that. Yeah, just read that bit. Trust spirit. That is very Pisces new moon. Oh, I can't fucking talk, guys. What the fuck? Trust spirit. There we go. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Oh my God, like the hat. There you go. Love it. That's very clever. My battery's about to die. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. Right, okay. I'm going now. I'm going to love you and leave you. This is Mediumship Monday. And yeah. I'll probably see you Tuesday. If there's no video on Tuesday, you know I'm absolutely in my feels, needing a bit of me time. And I'm sure I'll pop back up on Wednesday like, hello, I'm feeling fiery and fun and playful. But for now, time for a nap. See you later.